Manchester United is potentially up for sale on the same day that Cristiano Ronaldo is sacked by Manchester United via mutual consent. No payout for him. We're, of course, reviewing France's emphatic win over Australia. Kylian Mbappe on fire. But this is a special late night edition of the Done Deal Show. Let's go. Manchester United today sacked Cristiano Ronaldo, and big reports from multiple media outlets echoing what we told you on the 9th of November, that the club is seeking alternative investment from various parts of the world, but could be open to selling the club in its entirety. Massive news tonight for Manchester United fans all around the world. Of course, we're taking your reaction to Mbappe and the win tonight, but there's too much big news for us to ignore what's going on at the biggest football club in England, Manchester United. The Glazers may be on their way out as well. We want your instant thoughts, your instant reaction to that tonight as well. I really want to hear from you. I want to know what your thoughts and what your feelings are. And, of course, the reaction to him. I mean, Mbappe was on absolute fire tonight. Absolute fire tonight for France. There's no doubt about it. What he was doing down that left-hand side is illegal in 62 countries around the world. It truly, truly is. It was absolutely sensational from him. And there was that early scare, wasn't there? There was that early scare where you're thinking, could there be another shock? Could it be the day of shocks? The day of shocks. Saudi beating Argentina and the Aussies beating France, but it wasn't to happen. It was an absolute rout in the end. Theo Hernandez, best left back in the world, has changed his game as soon as he came on, my left back. Of course, his brother getting the injury very early in the build up to the goal. Listen, Hernandez came on, did well. The whole France team were brilliant tonight. And I wouldn't get overly carried away, but this is why I wanted to wait to see France before I spoke about them. A lot of people I see online saying they're not moving me, not feeling too much about them. This was game one. This was game one. There's a lot more to come from this France team. There's some serious ability in that team as well. And Mbappe looks hungry. Olivier Giroud at international level still looks like an absolute don. So lots going on there indeed. I'm going to bring my panel out in a minute. I think KJ is coming on with us. We've got Tom Little. We've got Igal to come on and talk all this big breaking news with us this evening. Make sure like buttons are being smashed. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. But let's bring the boys out now. Let's do this. Welcome back to the show, gents. We'll start off first with the French game. Really big result for them.
Massive result for them. And honestly, it just goes to show with all the wins, with all the injuries, 6 players now after the defender went down, Hernandez. Honestly, that France team just has too much quality, and they're going to continue to do what they're doing. And you know what? They're going to easily get out this group, because let's be honest, even though some of us might have had Denmark topping the group, the result where Denmark drew versus Tunisia changes everything. And France now only have to get one more win, and they can pretty much guarantee themselves that they top this group.
It's them now, Miguel? Is that what we're doing?
Is it them now?
Is
Canada us, or is it France at us, or who's us?
Who's we? Who's us?
Listen, are we going to do this every time? It's getting old now.
No. We'll do it. This is the last time, bro. This is the last time. I'll embellish in it, you know what I'm saying? Because all I just want to know is, who are you supporting this World Cup? Because right now you haven't said Canada, you haven't said France. Who is it, bro? Who is it?
You know what it is? Canada's my birth country, so I'm going to support them. But if they go out, I'm going to be rooting for France.
All right, cool. We can deal with that. Hey, you see it? Igal's admitted he's Canadian again. Anyway, brilliant win. I wonder if people will be saying, calm down, France fans. It's only Australia. I wonder if people will be saying that, because I think they should, considering the level of opposition. And you know what? You can't be happy when your team batter a team and a nation of that level, because it's not an indicator that you're going to win. I'm joking, by the way. I think you should celebrate. France fans, be happy. You absolutely destroyed them, even with a scare at the beginning. You got the equalizing goal fairly quickly, and you just dominated them from start to finish. Domination. And Kylian Mbappe is going to be one of the greatest footballers in the modern era. He just is, because the way this guy is quick, technical, powerful, skillful, clinical. Well, not clinical today, but he can be clinical.
Yeah.
Like he's honestly just absolutely amazing. And yeah, man, France trying to kill off that World Cup champions curse. They said not today. You know what I mean? Maybe Paul Pogba and the witch doctors maybe did some reverse judge for them. You know what I mean? For all the pain that they've been through as champions in the World Cup. So yeah, very good win. Statement win as well. I think people would like myself have been doubting France. Statement win to show that, yo, listen, we're not going anywhere. We're looking to go all the way, and yeah, we'll see how they fare against Denmark, who is obviously the toughest opposition in that group, in my opinion. And if they get that win against Denmark, they're cruising into the next round. So yeah,
I think there's a lot of questions about how the midfield was going to work, and of course, they weren't really tested today. They really dominated the game. I think it's going to come down a little bit later on, but today they showed they just have so much quality. Like, it's underestimating how much quality France have. Imagine any other national team gets 6 injuries, players that would most likely be in their 11. Like, we're not fathoming how many quality players are out for these guys, and they're having that type of performance is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's why I didn't personally write them off. I saw a lot of people writing France off in the build up to this. They don't have the team, they don't have the midfield. And I understood where people were coming from to a degree, but I still feel like it was an overreaction slightly, because they hadn't kicked the ball yet, and they're France, and there's certain countries that, of course, don't perform well at every tournament. But just writing France off, Germany off, Italy when they're in tournaments, Brazil off, Argentina off before a ball's kicked. And I'm talking about people not expecting them to get to the last stages. I never understand that.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's writing them off, because I just don't think they'll win the tournament. I think
Yeah.
quarters,
I mean, there's not winning the tournament, but then there's like saying they're gonna flop and they're gonna do nothing.
Them not topping the group to Denmark was people writing them off, though.
Well, the thing is, Denmark had a good Euros, and yes, they've been good like outside of it, but I watched them today. Tunisia were the better team, in my opinion. Tunisia played the better football. So what does that mean? I mean, that France have got some serious players still, and yes, you've got to remember at some point in this tournament they've got Camavinga and Tchouaméni to go in midfield. Camavinga and Tchouaméni make it into pretty much every squad and nearly every first team in the world. So I don't really understand what the issue is. They've got Saliba on the bench. You know, they've got Olivier Giroud, who's a player that you wouldn't go, oh, yeah, world class. But in terms of this France team, he works impeccably within that system and everything kind of surrounding it. So, yeah, from my point of view, absolutely impeccable from them and today. And I think the comeback the way they did, and it could have been even more. It could have been 4, 5, 6 goals they scored today. They were that good. The
thing is that with Giroud, I want to touch on Giroud. Come the end of that man's career, he's going to be one of the weirdest players to look back on, because our Premier League fans know what he was like. He was inconsistent at best. But if you just look online once he retires at Olivier Giroud, you'll have one of the greatest highlight reels of any footballer and records for France. You know, like on paper, he's going to look immense. And in reality, you know, he would go on 15-game goal droughts for no reason and manage to find ways to miss chances. He's going to be one of the most confusing players to look back on.
He is going to be, we just have to say it, one of the most underrated players in the modern era. The man has got a league title in France. He's got a league title in Italy. He's got a Europa League and Champions League, FA Cups, you know what I mean, World Cup. He's a World Cup winner, and not just like a bench-warming World Cup winner. Started nearly every game. Yeah, he didn't get the goals, but he did the job. You know what I mean? Today, he ties Thierry Henry as France's all-time goal scorer, just one more, which I assume he would get in the rest of this World Cup to take him across the line to be the France's highest goal scorer. You just have to put like clap the guy, take your hat to the guy, and be like, yo, you're special.
You know what the issue is, though, KJ? The issue is that he doesn't pass the eye test. And this happens to a lot of players.
He passes the eye test very well, Terry.
No. You're not. No. Let me finish talking. You're not even listening. The same people that don't rate Giroud don't think Mbappe is very good. When I say eye test, there is a group of people like the tacticos and the tacticos and weirdos on socials. They view KDBs, Zidane's. That's the eye test. That's what a great footballer looks like. Or if you dribble like Ronaldinho and do the skills and the tricks. Olivier Giroud passed my eye test. The same, in my opinion, that Mbappe passes my eye test. But for a lot of people, they don't see that as they see Mbappe as he knocks it and runs. It's speed only. They don't look at his close control, ability to use both feet, finish on both feet, his ability to pass and cross, his vision. Olivier Giroud, a lot of people don't consider hold-up play, being able to bring people in. They don't see it as a skill set that passes the eye test. They see it as like an old-fashioned Sam Allardyce type of skill, if that makes sense. Yeah. And it's crazy to me. There are two types of players, like Zidane-esque, KDB-esque, or sort of Neymar, Ronaldinho. Those guys, Hazard, they're the ones that pass eye test. The rest, everyone else outside of that, people say, no, don't pass.
Terry, you're not listening because I'm not talking about that eye test. He passes.
I get you.
You know what I mean?
He is a good-looking guy, no doubt. We had a member chat here that I have to read out. Someone wants it read out for Igal. Let me just zoom in a little bit because I can't see my.
What did he say?
I'm going to read it out here. Sorry. It says, if I had to pick either Giroud or Henry, I'm picking Olivier Giroud. Guy is the ultimate team player and scores bangers for fun. Henry is just a pace merchant who bottles finals.
France World Cup, Champions League.
He's lying to himself. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna rewrite history as other players come over and break records. That's how it is. But realistically, you can give credit to Olivier Giroud without trying to diminish people of the past. Realistically, let's be real. Olivier Giroud has done this throughout his longevity. He's done this because he's been a mainstay in the team for a long time. And he's been able to stay fit, available, and the team has been able to go far in tournaments. Where Henry, let's be honest, early stages, he was very young. There was a lot of other main players in the team, and in the latter stages, the team wasn't as good.
I look at it this way: there are certain players that just internationally, I'm not comparing Olivier Giroud to Maguire because Olivier Giroud's won things in his playing career, but Maguire for England is better for England than I've seen from John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Sol Campbell, in terms of how he performs for them at tournaments. And that you can ring fence players. The way German people think about Podolski and Klose as international strikers at tournaments versus how they view them domestically as club players, I think are two very different things. Olivier Giroud, I would say, as an international player, in some respects, he's probably... a lot of French fans will probably feel more of a legend than Henry, because
he's almost matching. He's almost matching what he's done. He's got the same amount of goals. He's got the World Cup that Henry's got. He just needs the Euros, which he probably
let me correct.
Get.
What about the Euros?
No, that's what I'm just saying. Like, he probably won't get the Euros to match Henry, but other than that, he's pretty much. In terms for France, just for France.
Guys, see, people are talking again. Where's the statue? I'm not talking about Olivier Giroud and Henry versus each other at Arsenal. I'm talking purely. I would love French people, not people that like France as a team. I'm talking specifically to French people. You know, not French fans like Igal that have now gone to Canada because they've qualified. I'm talking actual French people. I'd love to know who they view for their country as a bigger legend, because that for me is what I'm talking about here. Mm-hmm. You know, we all know in England, the likes of Jimmy Greaves, the likes of Alan Shearer, the likes of Gary Lineker, most people would say were better strikers than Sir Geoff Hurst. But as an England player, Sir Geoff Hurst getting a hat-trick in a final and winning the World Cup makes him the biggest striker, most famous striker and biggest legend ever to play for England. That makes it, rather than overall career, I'm ring-fencing it to international football only, so do remember
if you want a ring fence, just look at Sergio Aguero. Argentina fan, Sergio Aguero is one of the best strikers the Premier League's seen, one of the best strikers of the last decade. But because he never really done it for Argentina on the big stage, they don't rate him that highly.
Bro, Argentina
fans you gotta make.
Bro, forget Aguero. That man questioned Messi, and he's like one of the greatest players of all time. And them Argentina fans are like, he hasn't won us the World Cup, so he's not better than Maradona. And can we argue with that? You know what I mean? Can we argue with that for Argentina? I'm not too sure. You know what I mean?
The thing is with Giroud, he's been fantastic for France. But if I'm looking at Henry versus Giroud, I know Giroud was an important part. He was a heavily important part of that World Cup winning team. but he did also fail to score in that tournament, and I think that is a little bit of a knock on him. I know they won, but he did have his chances and he did miss a fair few of them. So maybe French people might look back on that with a little bit of a knock on that legacy. But they're both up there. I mean, he's going to be the record scorer of France. I would never have thought Olivier Giroud, when he was costing Arsenal the title in 15-16 and costing Mesut Ozil assist records, would be France's record goal scorer.
No, you know what it is, though? You got to remember as well, back in the day, they didn't play as many international games as we do now. So it's not difficult for a modern day player to end up being the top goal scorer for a country. Harry Kane's going to overtake Wayne Rooney. And look how many chances Rooney had to actually overtake Sir Bobby Charlton. And he didn't take it in the end. So
again, and Harry Kane has benefited. One, being brilliant, but he's also benefited from the fact that he's playing in an England team that at tournaments has been very good for the last two. Like Rooney had one team that he played in that was good at a tournament in Euro 2004, and then he was on his way to being player of the tournament, and then he bust that metatarsal. 06 and 2010 and 20, didn't even qualify. They weren't a good team, and you could put some of that on Rooney because he was part of the side. But like you just said about Henry, it was like some of the teams that he played in just weren't of the level. So sometimes it's timing. We've got a super chat here that says Franco Gabonese Guna. Terry, we still respect Henry more, but Giroud is a viable soldier and definitely a legend. That's fair. I'd like to hear from some more French fans, please. Terry, France scare me. I hate them. But they have so much quality. I am happy that Ronaldo is gone. Which striker will you guys get in January? But that kind of moves us on very, very nicely to the second biggest piece. It's funny, I tweeted it during the game that isn't it amazing that Man United get two big bits of news before the France game and the internet's dominated by Man United, not France. Even though all the algorithms are pushing towards the World Cup, Man United broke through it and broke the algorithm today. But Ronaldo sacked. They say mutual consent, but the club said no money, go now. He said yes. There's links with him to Newcastle. There's links with him to the Far East. The Middle East, sorry. And links to America as it stands right now. Your reaction to that, KJ, of United sacking and moving Ronaldo on?
The only surprise I had is how early they got it done, how quick they got it done. I thought there would probably be more maybe legal proceedings, more, I don't know, dealing with the money of how much he's going to get, blah, blah, how much to pay him off. The fact that we got him off with no money paid whatsoever, I'm like, yo, that's a massive step forward. You know what I mean? So we can potentially, hopefully, I beg, they use that to buy a striker in January. But it had to be done. It had to be done. He made that move so this could happen. Man United are very happy for this to happen as well. So, yeah, it's not a massive surprise to anyone that is finally going. And I'm glad it's happened. It shows Man United are going in the right direction, as in they want to focus on football. They no longer want the negative media highlights for clicks and for views and for the social media data and all these different things. We don't want that no more. We're trying to be better at football. And yeah, like, I'm happy that it's happened. No surprise. I'm not going to sit here and say Ronaldo is this legendary hero of the club because he's now done up crash and burn with the Glazers and the club coming down with him. None of that. He did what he did to get his own way. He got his way. I can benefit from that as well. Is what it is. It's a mutual business transaction for me. Thank you everything for Ronaldo has done for Man United in the past and in the present. And now we just move forward. I'm happy that we can finally just be about Manchester United again. None of this Ronaldo started, he didn't start. Is he old enough? Is he good enough? Can he be the one to take us forward? Or is he hindered? None of that no more. It's gone. It will now be Ten Hag and his squad of players. What can you do moving forward? And that's what I've all I wanted since the summer. All I've wanted is us to talk about Manchester United as a team and not this massive star that just has a massive shadow on us, because that's what the media want to talk about. So Ten Hag will probably be happy. The players will probably be happy because the toxic players out of the dressing room, and we can move forward. And that's the best thing about this happening right now.
What's next
it's
for
a win-win
Ronaldo,
for
though?
everybody involved. Honestly, it's a win-win for everybody involved, and it's quite smooth the way it's happened. So it's good that it's gone quick, and it hasn't been something that dragged on the whole World Cup.
I just wonder what's next for Ronaldo. I mean, the teams that link with him, Newcastle, teams in the MLS, teams in the Saudi Pro League, that's not what I don't think Ronaldo was expecting that. And I don't know what Ronaldo thinks his next. How does Ronaldo play this card now? Because he's in a weird position. Ronaldo has all the power in a weird way. Is he going to sacrifice his financial earnings to try and get a big move to a bigger club and try and seal it one more time, or is he going to go have one last dance at a mid-table-ish team where he's going to get loads of money and he can go on a high, looking like he's still got it? I don't know how Ronaldo's going to play this. It's going to be something that I'm really intrigued to see how it plays out. But United have smashed it. You have to pay him to get off the books. You're going to get a new striker in, probably Cody Gakpo at this point, if the links are to be believed. All you've managed to do is shift someone who got 3 goals in 10 starts, get a younger player in, and you haven't had to pay Ronaldo to go. He's agreed to go.
Do you think he'll do Ibrahimovic and go somewhere and be a bit part player? Because I don't think that's the only way I could see him at a top club.
Yeah, I don't think he has the ego capacity to be a bit part club. Because if I see Ronaldo go to a Napoli, go to a Bayern Munich, go to whoever who's in the Champions League and is on top of their league table.
Oh, he would start for Bayern.
No, but just to be a pit part player, if I saw that, I'd be like, why not just do it here? Why just not do that at Man United? Because
the reason is that if he goes to say Bayern Munich and does that, Bayern Munich, even with Ronaldo, will still win, in my opinion, their league. By the end of the season, they'll still win their league, and I think they'll win it well. It's not as fast-paced league. It's slower. He'll do fine there. He won't mind being a bit part player where he's going to pick up another league title, because on the CV at the end of his career, if he plays between now and the end of the season 15 games, scores 8 goals, he's got another league title. And what this guy wants is he wants to be able to score Champions League goals and win trophies, because all he's fighting for now is maintaining his legacy above Lionel Messi. That's what it is. It's to stay on par. And at Man United, he knows he ain't winning a major trophy for a good couple of years, and he knows he ain't fit enough and young enough to play well in the Premier League to score the goals. And he's having a season where he's not scoring Champions League goals, and he'll want to get back in that Bayern Munich team. And listen, Bayern Munich could, play 3, 4, 5, 6 more games in the Champions League this year, and he'll get. That's, I think, what is motivating Ronaldo. But I do agree with you, KJ. It's the right thing to have done. It's the right thing to have moved him on. It's the right thing to get him out. And I am happy that I don't praise the Glazers often, but I'm very happy to see them move him out this quickly. However, that's coupled into the fact that it's now just been confirmed by Talk Sport that the Glazer family are willing to sell Manchester United. Sources say that United changing hands is very, very real. That is the words directly from Talk Sport, who have obviously doing their research. And United have refused, and I've spoken to a few journalists privately tonight. Man United, as it stands right now, have refused to give comment to journalists ringing up and asking them. Normally what they do is say, no, the club isn't interested in selling right now, but they're refusing to pass any comment on it, which means there is a huge chance. The Glazer family, he says, the Glazer family have instructed the banks to handle the sale of Man United. They expect to make a decision, public statement on Tuesday. I mean, it is Tuesday, so maybe again, it's only 5 in the afternoon in New York. So, sorry, 4 in the afternoon, 4:30. So there's still time. But interestingly, it looks like Man United may be willing to sell. Which, listen, with the news that TeamViewer and a few other sponsors are looking to pull away, I'm not surprised. It was always going to be money that led them away. And look, I wanted fans to boycott. I wanted fans to pull their money. I thought they would stay longer than this. But maybe they're just realizing, maybe they just got to a point where they've gone, actually, we have kept maxed out. We don't think we can get it to be valued at any higher. They're probably going to get £3.5 to £4 billion for it. We've just got to hope that we get good owners that come in, and everything else. But there was a report that I spoke about on the 9th of this month, where Liverpool were linked with their sale, and it was talking about all the various links. But within that video, there was talk of United having a lot of people under non-disclosure agreements and a lot of agents knowing that the club was being put up for sale. Everyone kind of laughed at it. I'm going to find out who the journalist was, because he was a very small journalist. Turns out he was absolutely spot on. He said it would be about 2 to 3 weeks, and it's become public news. But yeah, what's your take on that, KJ? Because I know what a big fan of the Glazers you are.
Ah, man, them pagans finally leaving this club. I actually thought they would leave the day I died. That's how I felt about this. I'm still in the place of I don't trust anything that comes from those pricks' mouths, and it. So even if they told me they're gonna sell, it could literally the share price has gone up by 17%, bruv. So how do I not know this is some weird ploy to get the share price up? And again, it sounds crazy and paranoia and everything and PTSD, but this is all I know. All I know is these pricks fooling me again and again. So until it's sold, I will have some skepticism. Until it's
Bro, you don't want to be happy?
bro,
Didn't you jump up a little bit?
No, I want to be. No, honestly, I want to be happy, but I'm not going to celebrate now and then say this takes a year, 2 years, 3 years, and they're still going to be here. Why am I doing that? You know what
Bro,
I mean?
you celebrated Ed Woodward leaving the day that you found out he was leaving. He was still there for a year.
Himself was an issue and he left. You know what I mean? I was happy about that. The Glazers could still be here for how long? I am happy, yes, but I'm not going to be popping champagne when I don't even know what the process will be. I don't know how long it's going to be. Like, Liverpool fans were screaming, yes, FSG are leaving. Yo, bruv, they're expecting it. They're still here. You know what I mean? So I will, when the actually sales gone through, that's when you'll see me cheering and shouting. But right now, I'm just going to wait.
Have they ever done this before?
What?
What the statements that have been put up? Have you heard similar statements before?
No, not like this. This is different. I'm not gonna deny that it's different. It is a different kind of feel, different kind of vibe of what's happening. And plus, I think FSG doing this beforehand helps the Glazers also do it. I don't think they was gonna do it just by themselves. The Super League, they wouldn't do it by themselves.
I think Chelsea helped also.
No, Chelsea is different because there was sanctions.
But
the money.
No, I agree. I agree, KJ. I agree with you, Gal. Money wise, I think it's shown people what it's worth. Now you've got to remember with Man United, Team Viewer are not going to renew. The Adidas deal is going to be a lot smaller, either literally smaller than the 75 million a year we get now, or smaller from a point of view of when we signed that deal 10 years ago, the growth in the market not being matched. So it might still be 75 million a year, but that's a reduction because of inflation, if that makes sense. So this is what I've always said. They would leave when they felt they couldn't make any more huge money out of the club. And announcing it this way will make the share price rise up. They will sell those shares first of all and make a killing, hundreds of millions of pounds, and then they'll sell the asset. Now, what I hope for is that this sale is done and the club gets taken off the stock market and it's an outright buy. What I would say, though, to temper Man United fans is it's likely to be American owners. It's very unlikely to be from the Middle East. And I just say that now because the kind of proposals that have been put out already that was revealed 3 weeks ago, these were for US-based investments into the business. But that doesn't stop a very rich person or group of people from the Middle East or from China or from the UK coming together and saying, well, actually, we'll buy the whole thing off you. If it makes the good thing about the Glazers, they will sell for the best price. However, they won't sell to the best buyer. Whoever offers them the most amount of money is who those guys will go for. 100.
Terry, sorry. I have just sent you the official club tweet. Oh no, not club tweet. Club statement about Manchester United. I've just sent you the image.
So it says here that Manchester United, one of the most successful historic sports clubs in the world, announced today that their company Red Board directors has commenced a process exploring strategic alternatives for the club. Love the way they say that. The process is designed to enhance the club's future growth with the ultimate goal of changing the club to capitalize opportunities both on the pitch and commercially, always commercially. As part of this process, the board will consider all strategic alternatives, including new investment into the club, a sale, and other transactions involving the company. See, this is just, I don't need to read the rest. Rain Group are going to be handling this. That's who all the banks use. All the big football clubs use now with American owners. They're saying that includes investment and other transactions and this, but the sale is what they're now looking for. And that is music to my ears, but it's like I'm with KJ in part, though, that I'm not going to jump for joy just yet because you don't know whether you're jumping from the frying pan into the fire. However, the Glazers being gone, the one thing I said about Chelsea being taken over the way they did, the one thing I said about Liverpool being taken over by Americans, there is more chance of success with them than the Glazers. And there's one big reason why. The Glazers bought us for $0. They bought us with leveraged debt, meaning the club's own income financed the Glazers buying the football club. Anyone that's buying the clubs now, leverage buying is finished. You can't do it. So anyone that buys the club is actually going to have to part with £3 to £4 billion of their own money. The only way you're going to get money back is by making the club more financially successful. The only way you're going to grow Man United's finances is by making us good on the pitch. The same for Chelsea and the same for Liverpool. So billionaires tend not to throw their money at these types of things to not make a profit in 10, 15 years' time. But for Chelsea, for Liverpool and Man United to make a profit, they have to be successful on the football pitch. That's the one benefit to the way the ownerships will be now. It's very unlikely a billionaire is going to go, there's £4 billion. There's £1 billion to build the new stadium, like improve the stadium, and not improve us enough where we're winning things, and the commercial revenue drops and the value drops, and he never makes a penny out of us. Like, I don't mind someone making money out of Man United as long as we remain successful on the football pitch in the meantime. So, yeah, it's an interesting statement from them.
The last part, Terry, is where we need to remember this is possible. It says there can be no assurance that the review being undertaken will result in any transaction involving the company. Like so we literally, I'm not gonna sit this one, Igal, this is why I'm saying I'm not gonna sit here and start cheering, taking my shirt off and be like, yeah, they're going. Like, they're not going yet. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen yet. So good news so far, but we'll have to wait and see, because FSG are still there, and then man said the same thing 3 weeks ago.
Well, KJ, if it's American owners, we've got some good ones who are looking to, diversify their portfolio. They might,
you know what? Yeah, how about you just trade? No,
I'm not. They say we're not doing NBA trades. You can just have FSG. We'll get someone else. We'll try different avenues. We'll let someone else explore.
That's how it works, my brother. Americans deal with Americans. Our Americans. You know what I mean? Come on.
Who do you think goes for more? Then?
He's all smiles.
Who do you actually think goes for more as a football club? Who do you think is worth more at the minute, Liverpool or United? Who goes for more? United.
Oh, Man United still. No, remember, like, sporting wise, you are worth more than this. Commercially, it's tight, but I still think we're worth more than.
But then I'm looking at the facility.
No. It is though.
It probably is United, but you've got to. When I'm looking at it, playing squad wise, ours is better. Commercial, like, reach wise, yours is better. Facility wise, that's a toss. I think we've got the nod because we've got a brand new training ground, new stands getting built and everything. I don't know what you can do with Old Trafford.
Everything you're saying Liverpool has is fixable. What they have is something that's difficult to gain. That commercial value is not easy.
What can United do with the stadium? Can United, like, upgrade the stadium, or do they have to, like, get a new one?
No, we can. There's plans to extend the stadium. Yeah. Right. So we can extend the stadium. We can improve the training facilities and all of that. We'd love a new stadium for the women's team and the youth team. I would love that. But, like, the main thing I would say is our commercial potential. As much as right now it's close with Liverpool's, I think our commercial potential is so much higher than Liverpool's in general that companies would value that over potentially the sporting side. That's just what I see. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want it to be that way, because that means, are they in it for commercial gain only? But if we are talking about proper how business people think, I think that's the way. But you know what? Yeah, I've spoken enough about United. Deezy's here, smiling. Deezy, tell me how you're feeling. Glazers looking like the sell. Ronaldo is gone. What a day for Man United fans, right? Oh, you're on mute, my brother. You're on mute.
I got you. There we go. All right. I was in the gym minding my business, right? Doing what I usually do on a Tuesday afternoon. Come to find out Ronaldo's gone. That's step number one. A relief, a weight off my shoulders, if you will. I feel so much better now that he's gone. I love the guy. But I've been saying for weeks, I need him to be far away from me so I can love him in peace and quiet and not see slander on Twitter. If it's slander for while he's paying for Las Palmeiras and that, cool, do your thing, fam. But at United, it was a headache. One. Come to find out the Glazers might be selling as well. Oh, man, come on, fam. Say it ain't so, bro. I'm a kid, but I'll start believing in Santa again. I'll tell you, I will. Is one of them, is that kind of feel-good feeling. If the Glazers actually go, I think I might go to a United game, which is, I've said that while the Glazers are here, I refuse to go to a United game. And I'm not going to lie, I really want to go. I really, really want to go. So I hope they do so.
All right, these I agree with you. If they go, and when they go, I'll be so happy for the fact that I can just now go to a game again. I can now wear the shirts again in public. I can now buy the new kits, the training kit, whatever I want to buy from Man United. I can now do that because my protest will be over, my boycott will be done, and I can go back to investing in the club that I love so much. Like,
and you know what it and you know what it is about you man were talking about, you know, the profits and XYZ. Bro, there isn't a business in the world that doesn't want to make profit. Every business want to make profit. Every owner wants to take dividends. That's how business works. You go into something to make money. So you have to understand that that's just always going to be a part of football. The problem what we have at the present moment is that the people are taking money out without making the football club better. We're not profiting. We're actually losing money. We're bleeding money, and they're still taking more money out. That's the problem. If we can get an owner that actually makes us a well-run business, and then they take their profit, nobody will care about the dividends and XYZ and XYZ. The problem is that we are melting up, we're falling apart, and they don't seem to care. That's the problem.
What you said there, though, about making profits, again, I want Man United to make a profit because we need to invest, but the money doesn't get invested in the club, and people think it does. We invest turnover into the club, profits get taken away. And we need those and viable businesses. They take their profits and they invest it back into the business. So if you're a YouTube company and you make profits in a year, once everyone's been paid, you make profits. You buy better cameras, you employ more people, you get better editors, you improve on things to try and go to that next level. And that's what Man United need to do. And we don't. We service debt. We give dividends to the owners. We don't invest in making the infrastructure better, the stadium bigger, none of those things. And over time, that's cost us money. And, you know, fans have lost interest and moved away. That means you can't keep expanding your stadium and everything else. So, yeah, it's one of those things for me where I kind of look at it along the lines of, like, it is positive news, but like the end of that statement said, they might not sell. Maybe no one comes in and pays the $6 billion. That's the thing. Maybe nobody comes in and offers what they want. They want £6 billion is what they're reporting they need.
Jesus Christ. 6.
You know what? £6 billion.
You know what I'll say?
$6 billion.
You know what I'll say though? From the Glazers' perspective, this is incredible business maneuvers from their part. I am not. Yes, they've ran us into the ground over the last, 11 years or so now? No, 2005. About 15, 17 years. Whatever 17 years, sorry. Yeah, 17 years. From their part, they've spent no money to buy us. They've put no money in. And they've taken money out every year in dividends, about 20-30 million or so.
Bro, they are about to pocket themselves.
Bro, and then they're gonna sell the club for
$7. Bro,
no, but understand, some of that money is gonna go and pay off their debts.
But it's money they didn't have anyway.
They still have earned. They still would have earned £7 billion from Manchester United in 17 years. Do you know how mad that is? That is insane. I'm not a business person, but if you told me I can buy something for nothing, not properly invest in it, and then get £7 billion back in total,
whilst taking out 20-30 mil every year on top of that.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Of course,
you're not getting bought for $6 billion. Not a chance.
Oh, hey, listen. I don't know how much we'll get bought for. Like, I don't know. But
it is plausible. Don't forget, Manchester United is one of the biggest sporting teams in the world.
But I'm thinking overall, the only way you're going to get bought for $6 billion is if you just become a
there's going to be a bidding war, bro. There's going to be a bidding war.
No, because you've got to think. Put your business hat on for a second. Let's say you spend £6 billion on Manchester United. That's $6 billion.
Take your Liverpool hat off for a second.
I haven't finished. You've got to spend £6 billion up front straight away. Then you've got to completely redo the training facilities because they're no longer.
You don't have to invest in that right away. You could have a succession plan when you buy the club.
You're still going to have to do that. You're gonna
but when you take over a business, first thing you don't do is let me go revenue. You don't come and rip up everything and say you're gonna fix up everything. What you do is you evaluate the situation and you have a plan in place over the next coming years.
You're gonna have a plan, but it's still a big outlet. Okay. It's still a massive outlet. It's gonna be up to £8 billion, if not more, to do everything that Man United fans want.
I think you also have to look at the value of football and other clubs, how much they're going for. Chelsea went for how much? 4 point something? And then they were sold quick. So imagine a club
Chelsea go for 4 million.
They went for 4.25
Yeah.
billion.
So
around that
Chelsea
price.
went for
Why
four.
are we only asking for 3.1? Hold on a minute. No, that's an.
Because I
Why are
told
we
you,
only getting
fam, I
3.1?
told you,
We're gonna get some
you
crappy.
ate the levels, fam. You ate the
3.1.
levels
Oh, this is a
commercially.
joke,
brother.
this.
It is, isn't it?
He-
This is big boy
You
business.
see, you're
table.
not fathoming the business. And also, Chelsea are not even like, I wouldn't say they're even close to Manchester United on the scale of how much you could bring back if you properly invested in them and how much money they make on an annual basis. And also Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then Manchester United. Let's be real, the three most valuable clubs in world football. Even as a rival, I can admit that these guys are a major conglomerate, and you're making it seem like, oh, they're going to go for less money. That's ridiculous, bro. And there's going to be a bidding war. The money might even be more after the bidding war starts.
It could be a $10 billion what's it called in project overall, but there's somebody out there with the money, or there's a consortium out there with the money to pay it. The only sticking point was whether or not the Glazers were willing to sell, and if they're willing to sell, somebody's gonna buy it. Imagine Ten Hag with owners that actually want to run a football club.
No, it could be great. There's some super chats here I want to do. This is what it will also include, though. United Style will have a $2 billion stadium development within it. Chelsea was, and also minus in the debt that's on the club too. Chelsea was 4.2 billion. 6 billion is not a wild valuation. Yeah, for the biggest football club in England, and I think the second or third biggest commercially in the world. That's why. Like it's, and by the way, you got to remember, like profit wise, what the Glazers know is how much profit this club makes with no debt. Like I don't think people realize how scary Man United are with no debt. You're talking no debt and dividends puts an extra nearly £100 million a year into the coffers for players and
Another
salaries.
video idea.
Chelsea didn't ask for 3 billion. Our owner was getting done by the UK government, so he had to sell cheap. That's also true. They had to sell quickly. This super chat here says between 2002 and 2010, outside of 2006, Henri carried us. Go back and watch the 2003 Confederations Cup, please. Speaking to non-believers there. Thank you very much for that. And this super chat says, can France pull off a back-to-back World Cup? They can. I mean, they can win it. Whether they will or not is another story. But listen, people, I appreciate you all coming on and having your say. We're back tomorrow with more content for you. Please smash that like button before you go. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again